All right, I'm live again. Worked some more on this trance track. Even started referencing. Pulled in a track from Modus. Really dig Modus. Very cool stuff. Yeah, my battery has been stable for a couple of hours, so if it starts to mess up now, then we know conclusively it's performance related. Yeah, it's been a good 3 hours at least, I think, since it last gave me any trouble. And yeah, I've got a master chain on this track now. It's not as tight as the reference, but you know how it is with everything you try and do. Now and then you get it right. Now and then you don't. So there've been a few attempts on stream that didn't go all that well. And this one, I think's getting there. So I'm going to give it a quick playthrough and then we'll have a listen to my reference. And you'll sort of see the sort of style I'm going for, I suppose. Ooh. Cool, so I'm going to mix that dry wet in. So yeah, I made the sound off stream. End of last stream, I was starting to make this sound. No, not that one. This one. I was just muting the track whenever the other sound comes in. So you don't have this huge reverb tail whenever those sounds come. So this was what I was nearly done making last stream. Where are we? Where I had Serum with a sine wave with a bunch of detuned voices and a pitch envelope. LFO1 modulating the filter cutoff. LFO2 modulating the rate of LFO1. So it goes faster there, goes very fast there, and that just loops every 4 bars. And I was busy looking for a reverb when my battery started driving me nuts last stream. So I quit. And I ended up with Cold Abyss, which I've used a few times actually under the massive category. It's quite a nice convolution reverb. And then I duplicated it. So this has the same pitch down actually. Just has a different convolution. This one is under coloration. And I automated the size. You can see the little blue line there. So the size moves around. Just gives it slight tonal variation. The last one sounds quite intense. So yeah, that size adds some tonal effect and then goes into distortion. So without the distortion, that's what the convolution sounds like. So yeah, where you have the size makes quite a big difference to how this sounds. And then the distortion is diode 1, which is quite a strong character for distortion. Gives it loads of harmonics. I hardly ever use diode, it's usually quite extreme, but it seems to work for the sound. Then I've got obviously there's a high pass, multiply, adds even more width, it's sort of like a chorus plugin, and of course OTT really slams it and brings up the sort of mids and highs. Never really made a sound like that before, but I think it suits the track. Kind of aggressive without being, I don't know, heavy. Now I'm like washing it with guitar rig. I'm going to move guitar rig before the sidechain maybe. So I'm sort of working towards a breakdown of some sort, I think. Actually, do my references have breakdowns in the middle? I'm not sure. So this is Modus. I really dig Modus. Kind of got me back into psytrance because I've never really liked the repetitive bass lines, the sort of rolling mechanical bass lines. Try to make something a little more unique. Okay, so there's a breakdown intro. Man, listen to this mix. It's insane. Strong fundamental. I feel like mine has more harmonics, but not as strong a fundamental on the kick. I think mine has a harmonic around, 86, so similar sort of harmonic there. But it's not as clean as this, and some of these hats sound loud without being too loud. Like I feel like mine could be brighter, but on the spectrum it looks too bright. Haven't quite figured that one out. Obviously not going to play the whole thing. Just thought I would show you what I've been referencing since the production. And there is a bit of a breakdown, actually. Oh, I love the leads. Modus has such cool leads. What I also dig about Modus, aside from the more interesting bass lines as far as psytrance goes, is there's a through line, you know? And I dig that. Like a lot of psy that I've heard over the years kind of doesn't start and end in the same place. It just feels like ADD. I don't know how else to put it. It's like there's nothing to latch onto, and I kind of dig tracks that have some kind of a through line. Just want to hear how he ends this. It's one of my favorite tracks on his album. The album's called The Future Is Behind Us. That's Modus. And I like the whole album personally. I just grabbed the first track that I was listening to while I was having dinner earlier. And I figured it was a good reference. So yeah, there's a brief breakdown, but it's more like a build-up. It doesn't go down. It's sort of immediately building. And then there's this last section there, and it totals 7 minutes and 3 seconds. So that's good to know. I'm up to 4:34. So if I am going to do a breakdown, it needs to be a build. Going to have one more listen from the top. Let's just think about this. Think this could be its own. I kind of dig that it builds into just a drum section instead of like another full-on section. Oh yeah, also off stream I made this extra percussion. So it is from Resamplomatic. I dragged in a drum sound. Just take off the effects. A lot going on here. Just a conga one shot. And then I've gone into Serum Effects and I've modulated this filter cutoff. Okay, firstly there's a plate reverb. Let's bypass that. So it's got like a slap back kind of a thing due to this pre-delay on the plate reverb. And then I've got this filter which is affecting both the reverb and the dry, I suppose. The dry and the reverb are being affected, and this LFO rate is being modulated by this. So it's going slower and faster kind of at random. Initially, I had multi-band in here, and then I ended up preferring it at the end. Sort of slamming it all and bringing up the reverb a bit. Multiply just for a bit of width, and of course, a high pass. Yeah, there's a lot of motion in all the percussion layers in this track so far. Been interesting. Hi, welcome back. I've had a good couple of hours without any power issues, so I thought I would attempt to go live again and see how it goes. Made some progress on this track. I was going through a reference just now, Modus, a track called Visitors from his album The Future Is Behind Us from 2021. Really, really cool producer. I dig his stuff. interesting just to hear how that pad kind of builds, and then there's a build up. That's the only real breakdown, is just sort of a build. Hey, he's also got a snare roll. Interesting. Yeah, there's something in the mix there that's just so perfect. When I was looking at the like EQ profile in Span, it was just quite fascinating. I'm not quite there, but it sounds pretty good. My own, I don't know. It's not on that level though. I feel like there's more snap on his kick drum as well. Unusual for me, I stuck a pumper on the whole instrument bus. So everything that isn't drums or bass has a little bit of ducking on it. It's very quick, but you can hear it, especially in solo. I don't usually do that, but I might even automate it just to happen during the really busy parts. But I'll see. Oh boy, just happened there. A loop. Yes, it was modus visitors. I could start a track with a reference. It would probably be good for my production, especially when you're learning a new genre like I kind of am with this. Would be a good idea to actually start with the reference and then produce close to it. One can still make something completely unique and original, but just having like something to mix against so right in the sound selection and the way that you mix with a reference, it can be quite helpful. I just prefer not to do that on stream. Otherwise, every stream has a bunch of copyrighted content. And yeah, try to keep that to a minimum unless it's a DJ stream. I'm also trying at the moment to just nurture the creative spark because I'm still getting back into production, it feels like. I haven't really produced this much since I think like 2021 maybe. It's been a while. And it's not quite riding a bike for me. It's definitely kind of have to show up for a while before you feel inspired, which I'm starting to feel inspired and I'm starting to feel like I'm getting my groove back. It's quite a nice feeling, I must admit. It's been kind of exciting the last few days, just really feeling like a flow forming. I have client work and I used to feel guilty producing my own stuff when I had client work to do, but the payments for the various things I'm doing aren't like imminent. I'm not expecting an immediate payment from any of them. So I feel like it's much better for me to get into a groove to where the motivation becomes intrinsic, you know, as opposed to someone else needing something creative from me. Mixing is different. Like I love doing mixing work for people. I can do that any day or night. I love it. Not that I don't love producing, but it's like, it's kind of the one, like a DJ, and that's for other people. And like most of, I guess, the things I'm doing are for someone else. And it's nice to have one thing being music production that's kind of, at least at its core, intrinsically motivated, if that makes sense. Now, I love collaborating and I love doing stuff for clients, but if it's the only time I produce, it's not healthy. I would recommend, if you liked it, the whole album, Modus, the album is called The Future is Behind Us from 2021. There's a remix album as well, but that original album of his, and there's other singles he's released and EPs. His newest one actually is quite cool. It's something about Goa. Return to Goa or something. It's also really cool. I like it. Some of the ones in between didn't grab me as much as that album. I really enjoyed that album. I listened to it beginning to end a few times when I first discovered it. I want, might have to be in a different serum. Let's just see. Kind of think a choir would be nice on top of it. Never mind. That sounds awesome. Let's override the release. Beautiful. Man, can't believe this is all in serum in one instance too. Wow. Okay, now I think it's worth doing the following. I'm going to join them up and I'm going to move these nodes to the grid. And I'm rather going to use, where is it? It's in the routing. There's a track delay here. Media playback offset. Go like, I don't know, a couple milliseconds, 12. Yeah, that seems about right. That was a guess. Don't know if this is going to work, just rolling with it. could have a lead as well, maybe even in this section. Yeah, that was better. It goes from super wet on the 303 down. Because when it was a flat line, a straight line, it just sounded a little bit out of time. That's cool because you still get the full wet effect, but just as your brain is realizing it's out of time, it goes in time, if you know what I mean. That's what happens. There we go. I wanted it to have some sort of a repeating refrain there, and it didn't quite. Don't know if it lines up with the strings. What were the strings doing? Yeah, the strings were just root notes, I think. Yeah, it's just a minor triad split across a couple octaves. So doesn't really matter too much what's going on there. Can't believe that we're already at like 4 minutes and 13 on this. Considering, but yeah. On the other hand, you could see it as not very much done. Well, it's like, it just shows you how much work this shit is. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm really quite excited about this track. I've never really done this style before properly. I've attempted it here and there and never really got anywhere. But for some reason, I think it was that last one I did. I actually feel like having a palate cleanse. We'll have a listen to this techno track again. Something about this inspired me to up the tempo a bit and see how it goes. So that is from the other day. This one's like 7 minutes long. Could even consider upping the tempo on this. Yeah, it's more housey though. It's more techie. It's not trancey. Oh yeah, this weird percussion problem. I should have just played the bounce. Weird perk. I just changed the FFT size to something else and back again, and then it plays. There we go. Yeah, after listening to trance, this feels quite slow. But it's funny, when I take off the headphones and actually groove to music in the room with the speakers, like the trance almost feels like it could be slower, but like the Modus track is actually 2 BPM faster. I don't know. Today I like this one. Yesterday I felt like it was cheesy. Today I like it. It's like, I thought it was too melancholy. It is a bit melancholy, but it's, I don't know. Kind of like it today. Yeah. I don't really feel like working on it, but at least it's an idea. I working on. Ooh, this was fun. I don't really know where to go with this one, but I dig it. I think it also needs vocals. I think a few of the funkier tracks could use vocals, and then they would take some shape, you know? I've been going to some like open mics and things. There's a few more I need to go to. I've been going to like jazz nights, but there are other open mics that or like a songwriting festival, those sorts of things. I like to just find some local musicians to work with. I know a couple. I've worked with a couple. But yeah, I want to broaden it a bit. Try and find people I could also gig with. You know, I DJ with the bongos, and I went to see this other guy who plays percussion and DJs, and he has this huge setup with loads of percussion and two other guys playing with him. And I guess it's one of those things where it looks really cool, and that is worth a lot of money just because it looks really cool. But in terms of how it felt, I didn't feel like adding loads more percussion would add to what I'm doing as much as adding someone like who plays trumpet or sings or something like that. Then I can sort of DJ and play bongos, and then there's kind of two distinct vocal points. Whereas the percussion, with the big group of people playing percussion, it's like once the novelty is worn off, people are just talking and it's just kind of adding noise. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's like it is a really cool act that they've got going, but yeah, I don't know. It's a hell of a lot of stuff to carry around, and I don't feel like it adds sonically very much. It's cool to look at though. Like this with bongos, that could also work quite well. Aha! That's a long day you had there, the little one. What is this? It's just a different hat. I see. Yeah, I think I made the right choice. I'm just going to nuke that one. Goodbye. I'll find vocals for that, I think. Same with this other one. think last time I worked on this on stream, I had added these cheesy splice vocals. Next time I opened it, I was like, nah. So yeah, I'll find somebody. Think it needs it. Or 2 people I could think of who might work on this. Last playthrough of the Trancey one.